Ставиться на відкрите поіменне голосування підтримка депутатського запиту Гео Лероса до Президента України про забезпечення Володимира Зеленського памперсами на випадок нової акції протесту. Будь ласка, голосуємо.
We are anonymous. Pay special attention to the video at the very beginning. The Speaker of the Verkhovna Rada submits for a vote the purchase of diapers for the President of Ukraine Zelensky. And now, the official address of Anonymous to the President of Ukraine Vladimir Zelensky. We are anonymous, we have warned the government of Ukraine twice. Now we want to leave an ultimatum last warning to Zelensky. We miss the inflammatory ideas of America and other countries that understand that all financial communication will be available anyway. We will not say that now many people want to become anonymous in financial fraud. Constant performances in agony and the creation of the illusion of prosperity of Ukraine, this is a tactic of the Zelensky administration that has somehow been in power for 2.5 years. The illusion that everything is flourishing in Ukraine is being spread as a statement by Zelensky and an appeal through the media to the world community, the leaders of European countries. It's not true. An Anonymous wants to tell its audience what's going on. From the first day of his power, Zelensky has been creating a virtual world of the 95th quarter scene around himself. He is gaining a lot from his point of view of the people he supposedly needs. He is creating a center in the Rubin complex in Truskovets, which releases more and more illusionary fantastic stories about the well-being of the Ukrainian people every day. From the first day Zelensky could not and failed to create a team for his administration. Many people's deputies, servants of the people, and many people from the inner circle of the President of Ukraine have certificates of psychiatric hospitals number 1 in Kiev, the Akademician Yushchenko Hospital of the city of Vinnytsia, and many others. Anonymous will soon show its viewer these documents. People capable of any strong-willed decisions or strong-willed actions left Ukraine in search of work and the opportunity to support their family and children. There are people in Ukraine who have a rather specific arrangement. People are afraid of their own shadow. If they say that there will be no pension provision, then it is not necessary. No, what to buy for the table, for dinner or breakfast is not necessary. As long as no one touches or bothers them. Handfuls of people go, clean apartments from officials or monitor children. This is Ukraine now. And those who have children or grandchildren, those working in the European Union somehow support relatives who have remained in Ukraine and dream of getting rid of this yoke faster. It's scary to tell us, it's scary to realize what Ukraine has become, starting with Poroshenko and starting in 2003. Zelensky does not think at all about the future of the country. But the most important thing is that he doesn't need it either. All valuable resources and natural resources of Ukraine are being sold for many years ahead. The maps show what will remain in the very near future from the country Ukraine. Now at this stage, the coronavirus infection COVID-19 is taking a lot of lives in Ukraine. Pensioners, according to the president, are a ballast in Ukraine and should cease to exist. After the corruption schemes we have expressed and the documents shown, Ukraine should cease to exist, as the main witness to the laundering of huge amounts of money and terrorist and drug traffic. Zelensky, by agreement, performs his functions for the destruction of Ukraine. The processes began after the resignation of the German Chancellor to conceal the trillion-dollar financial fraud of the International Bank. Laundering of jewelry and masterpieces of the world jewelry art. If you want to know where the Amber Room is, ask Chancellor Merkel this question. Zelensky constantly provokes the people to military action. Such convulsions occur because he does not know what to do next. He entered this position with the desire to get rich as much as possible and to win the attention of countries where, even in the field of simple communication, he does not matter at all. Igor Kolomoisky has long predetermined his future, because it is impossible to escape from the planet. It is known that Ukraine has purchased several nuclear warheads and now all mentally ill people are on standby. Senya, Turchinov and a few more sheep in wolfskin have been reborn again, who need to have time, just to have time to tear off from what is still called Ukraine. Officially announced the construction of the wall, immediately Senya grew up. Officially about the liberation of the alleged Crimea, Turchinov immediately grew up. They cheat and steal from you. Anonymous explains why and how the Crimea was transferred to Russia. The time came when the Poroshenko administration was asked about the return of the lion's share of funds from offshore companies to the Trojan program of Freemasons. Poroshenko assumed the role of Khrushchev. He said, "I won't give you the money, I'd rather buy islands for myself, and you take the Crimea away." It's problematic and like an appendix, an exclusive dictum on the phone from Poroshenko. All the confusion and deception of the entire people, both Crimean Tatars and Ukrainians, was taken over by Turchinov for a fee. There could not have been any shots, because this land went to the one who was the first. Any sane person understands that the earth is abandoned. We are talking about the Crimean autonomy. Russia, in the person of the leadership and the president, immediately reacted to what was happening, introduced the Wagner army there at that time. Little green men. A certain blogger and presenter Gordon receives a call live on the program Subscriber in Touch from a man who is fleeing Ukraine with his family, as he is carrying with him a terrible secret of what is happening. While in Riga, at that time our comrade Igor Makarov calls the editorial office and openly announces this. Gordon waits for the end of the evening broadcast and immediately calls Poroshenko and announces that someone else owns this terrible secret of everything that is happening in Ukraine. A deadly hunt for the family begins and orders for the destruction of Igor Makarov's family. Gordon was and remains a friend of Petro Poroshenko and a collector and informant in the media. There are no coal supplies, no ships. There will be no increase in the standard of living in Ukraine. President Zelensky creates the illusion of Ukraine as a developed European country with the level of pension provision in the penultimate place, after which only Pakistan remains. Anonymous asks the European Union not to tighten measures against Ukrainian citizens who are looking for work and shelter in other countries and continents. Diasporas in Canada and the USA are asked to take off rose-colored glasses and look at the country without euphoria and without the land of ounce through the looking glass. Everything is very bad. There is no freedom. There is no future. We are afraid because, with nuclear weapons and the insane leadership of Ukraine, the world is in great danger. Until December 31st, as promised by Anonymous, there will be our next video with the provision of medical certificates and diseases of the Zelensky administration. We ask the world community to unite to solve the toughest problem. This is Ukraine in the center of developed and free countries. The world is on the verge of the Third World War. President Vladimir Zelensky. Anonymous appeals to you, gather all your own and leave the place where you are now. Anonymous is afraid to block and destroy all websites of all authorities. Anonymous is now looking for where the nuclear warheads you bought are located, and in which of the exploded warehouses, in the caches. We are trying to block illegal internet connections in every possible way. We block communications with banking systems. There is no cyber police system in Ukraine. There is only a write-off of huge amounts of money to a non-existing division. In our Christmas and New Year greetings to the President of Ukraine and members of his entourage, we will show medical documents on the insanity and split personality of imposters in power. We won't talk anymore if we haven't been understood yet. We will be silent. We will just show the world who you are, President Zelensky. We are against corporations and governments that interfere with the internet. We believe that the internet should be open and free for everyone. We do not forget, we do not forgive, our name is Legion. We are anonymous. We are the Legion. We don't forgive. We don't forget. Wait for us. We are anonymous. We are anonymous.